Yeah, it seems like they want to have 3 people bottom because Boxy is running down to the bottom lane.
All right, yeah, back for once again this series, some more trial lane versus trial lane action. And go straight onto Zai. Turn with the Gale, but they're already on top of him, but the Goose stacking up. And Fairy Fire, is it going to save him? No. Final few right clicks coming in after his armor's been brought down. Will get themselves that first blood. Fairy Fire's pop, but they'll still get the trade. Boxy and Insane are able to take down Tofu. We're going to see a lot of battling on this bottom lane.
Oh yeah, this is very interesting. Everyone has a stick, everyone has a Fairy Fire, so we're going to see a lot of the turnaround potential. Bristleback, who got the first blood? It was Tofu on Bane. Okay, I think you want to give it to anyone else. Like having Bane get the first blood kind of feels meh. You'll definitely want to give it to Bristleback, but he needed to back off. He has 3 mangoes to work with, has Hood queued up. After that, after all, he is playing into Venomancer, Dark Willow, so a lot of heavy magical damage coming out. And because there was a fight, they didn't manage to block neither the small camp nor the big camp, and Enchantress got the tomato creep.
Yeah, so again, getting a lot of damage out as well. That Celery restore with the collapse of the Hellbear Smasher. They try and go on Darachyo. They've got the Sinister Gaze to turn him around, and Darachyo gets taken out. Gaming Gladiators not quite in a position there with their supports to be able to help out their carry.
Same thing happened in Game 2, where Liquid understood like when they're pulling, and then they start to play aggressive on the lane. Hellbear will die.
That's nice. They were able to pull the creeps away, so none of them are lost to the tower whilst Darachyo was dead. So Darachyo is going to be back in the lane. I don't think he misses out on a single lane creep there.
That's nicely done.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a point in Cold Spray yet. Eventually, he'll get it to next levels. Boxy. Problem is, they don't have much AoE damage in this lane. Like, yeah, Quill is fine, but 2 supports don't deal well with the Shadow Realm.
Tofu.
Try to go for the deny.
Might get Celery as well in Liquid. Whoa. That'll do it. Liquid getting the kills now. Their supports and comboed up with Zai, proving to be a bit too much for the supports of Gaming Gladiators to deal with when they come running at them.
Ooh, looking at the mid lane. Mars, he's destroying Lone Druid. 19-2 against 10-2. Well, I'm no Lone Druid expert, but I feel like he should have maybe a couple more CS here.
Yeah, you think sort of had the bear and the hero, but indeed, Boom just playing it very, very nicely. And yeah, just able to get a lot of damage done to the bear. So Matu's got to be a bit more careful on how he's able to bring it up to hit the creeps.
And also, Boom going for different items, so yeah, we'll mention that, but the bottom lane.
He's got a lot of stacks on him, so he has got to be careful.
So back to the mid lane, because Mars is playing against the Lone Druid, which means that like he's gonna have a hard time picking up the water rune, so he's not going for the bottle, because Lone Druid will be able to most of the time get both of those, so he's just skipping it, going for the soul ring, going for the double bracer.
Bottom. Nice burst to take down Boxy, but Tofu probably goes down in return. He's got a few 1 charges. So actually, he's going to be okay, because Liquid, they'll turn their attention over towards Darachyo instead, trying to keep him back off Zai. Darachyo's got those stacks building up. Zai's already popped the wand, so he's not going to have anything else to protect himself. But Darachyo will get the kill, loses his life for it. Supports from Liquid turn back up and take him down. The battling just continues on that bottom lane.
He already used everything, so it's okay to die. Mickey on the top lane, now Celery rotated there. With some extra skeletons, we'll start to put the pressure. Never thought he's level 5, Mickey on the level 4, he should die here. He has a Fairy Fire, but we'll be able to run him down with the Timber Chain, 3 points in it.
And good move for Celery. Over in the mid, Estonia. I'll make the rotation to try and take down Boom. He's going to be off the mark with the spear, so he'll go down. Matu needed that kill for sure. Was indeed having a bit of a tougher time in the matchup. Now I'll get a bit of an opportunity to catch things back up with the CS.
Darachyo has Hood. It's about to crack level 5. There's going to be a lot of close sprays. Surprisingly, doesn't have a stick in a tri-lane.
How's he doing on the mana? The mango, but that was the last bit. We can kill Zai. One more quill spray. And we'll do it. Actually able to pick up the courier as well as Insania's courier passes by. But he's going to indeed start running into mana problems now. See if supports bring anything back out to him.
Tofu already used one mango, has 2 extra mangoes to work with on the bottom lane.
Actually, they can, Tofu making sure that darachyo is always set to fight.
A's off to a really good start. 39-9 on Timbersaw. Managed to kill the tower. And we'll start to put even more pressure. Enchantress now in enemy jungle. When she gets the creep, she could potentially once again go to the mid lane because Arena is available. Oh, Insania. They found him.
He's looking... Well, maybe Matsu could save him. Yeah, Boom. Kind of careful how he commits in onto Insania because he knows that Matsu's going to be wrapping around from the side. On top of that, also Boxy heading over towards to making this play in the mid. Tofu, the turn up, he'll be able to nightmare one of them, but he can't hold back the rest of them. Boom. Still going to step back, Spear to push back main hero, and that's going to mean that they're separated from the bear. The bear can't continue to attack. At the same time, this aggressive move for Liquid's going on in the mid that didn't end up getting them a kill. Top lane, Mickey's left alone. Back in the mid, they do end up taking down Tofu, but of course losing their own core top and not quite able to bring down Boom in the mid lane.
Mickey still not level 6. That early rotation from Enchantress kind of ruined them. They managed to kill the tower, didn't get the XP that he wanted, and now they managed to kill him one more time. Timbersaw now deeping to the mid lane. He's the one who's going to be defending the towers. Extremely leveled, level 7 already, 7 minutes in.
See Boxy, he's able to turn, set up with the cursed crown. Ace, no tree to catch onto there.
He tried. Usually there is a tree there, but they cut it down. Things stabilizing a little bit, or are they?
Sort of action continuing. darachyo is on his own. He is very tanky with a Hooded Defiance and a Ring of Health on top of it. And indeed too tanky for them to take out. It's going to be very, very hard to kill this Bristol, even when he is alone now.
Doesn't have much mana to work with. Like Soul Ring, definitely an item. No stick yet. A bit surprising, considering he was playing into a tri-lane. Might have got him another killer. Give him a bit more survivability. Maybe the turn around potential from the Bristleback is pretty insane. Timbersaw is a huge problem for Team Liquid. They need to bring extra heroes. They need to have, I'd say, 3 at least. Yeah. Spirit Vessel's gonna be done eventually. Zai for now, farming the triangle, 2 points in Plague Wards. So he's gonna be getting some extra levels here, and yeah, that Spirit Vessel is gonna be of a big value playing against both Bristleback and Timbersaw.
Hard to take down Boom now that he's got the levels. We really are seeing already gaming Gladiators hitting that point where it really takes a huge amount of coordination and effort from Liquid to kill their cores. I mean, at the moment, see what sort of build-up we get on Mickey and Matsu. Matsu, he's going for the Deso.
I saw Desu being queued up by Ember Spirit as well. He doesn't have anything at the moment. I guess they're thinking, well, if I go Maelstrom, both of the heroes, like Bristle and Timbersaw, will have hoods, so the value from Maelstrom is not going to be as big since they're playing into Venomancer, so most likely they're going to itemize into physical damage.
Nice. Just making sure that Mickey does not get a chance to just freely farm on this top lane. Consistently just bullying him away. Already 5k net worth on this Timbersaw. Ace is getting very, very stacked. Mickey just struggling to farm in this early game.
Lotus Orb is going to be great value item on Gaming Gladiators, playing into Venomancer, removing his abilities, the Spirit Vessel, chains, everything. Lotus Orb just completely ruins Dark Willow against the Chain Frost, the Sinister Gaze, removing the Entangle. It's just going to probably be one of the best items. Even the cores are going to be looking for it.
Quick move from Liquid. We'll get a bit of action for Matsu to be involved in. He heads over towards the bottom lane. They take out Tofu. They look towards the tower. It does mean that they'll lose their tower in the mid lane. Gaming Gladiators is able to push back in return.
Radiant's bottom tower
Keeping themselves ahead. It's just about a 2k lead. Actually looks like Liquid, they weren't able to stick around to do that much damage towards the tier 1. Ace turns up to the bottom lane, and Liquid, they weren't able to push it at all. So Gaming Gladiators continuing to keep all their tier 1s in pretty good shape here, 10 minutes in.
Ace has been on point with the rotations. When Team Liquid try to push the mid wave, he TPs the mid. When they try to make something happen on the bottom, he immediately comes down. He understands, like, I'm pretty unkillable at this point, and they just don't have enough damage to deal with him. Also, any kind of TP rotation could make a big turnaround play.
I think we saw as well. It's a nice bit of micro. I think when Celery sending some creeps over to make sure that Liquid aren't really able to get stacks going in their triangle. Something that their cores are desperately going to need. They're being slowed down quite a bit. Gaming Gladiators definitely showing that they're on track to hit this early timing where they'll be able to group up, walk down lanes, and Liquid probably won't be quite prepared, or at least have the items to take down these heroes.
How's Vanna doing? Spirit Vessel just done. No charges yet on him, so they need to take a fight.
Let's see what they look towards them. Their eyes on Celery.
Tower is under attack.
That's their Spirit Vessel charge.
Yeah. Not going to be any surviving here. Just the damage of Boxy. Is in with the ultimate. There's the charges, and now we'll see if they can push that into another move and maybe take down one of the cores that without a Vessel charge are probably not dying anytime soon. So now they've got that opportunity to get the kill. Boom. This Invis might set up something big. Oh, definitely going to here with Tofu, starting things off with the Fiend's Grip. Bit of follow-up, not a chance for Mickey to escape. A very nice catch for Gaming Gladiators, slowing down Mickey's game yet again.
Sania drop down the ward. Sleep, there's going to be another spear. He's sitting next to the tree. So another good pick-off.
That's looking good for Gaming Gladiators.
It really does.
It's 4k lead. They're really coming into their own here with this lineup, this draft. Tofu going to be able to save himself for now with the Nightmare set. He's going to live. As Boxy gets taken out, that's going to be a third one added for the kills that Boom was picking up in that last minute of play. A triple kill for him. As he's well on the way towards that BKB. I mean, Liquid, are they going to be able to slow Gaming Gladiators down here?
They do have Deso on Lone Druid, so I want to see them take a fight to go for something. Insania has Chain Frost, but there's no creep wave.
It's taking a lot of effort to take Celery down. Boom did stick around a little too long up top. Chain Frost is out, and with that, they'll be able to slow him down, chase him out. Liquid, they'll get the kill on Boom. Celery, they'll continue to try and run him down with the bear. He does tick out. Zai also doing what he needs to do as the Venom. A sort of a key hero here for Liquid in terms of just allowing them to get these kills that otherwise probably wouldn't be getting away with.
Next big timing for Gaming Gladiators is going to be Aghanim Scepter on Bristleback. This is when you feel extremely strong, just 1,000 gold away. Next Roshan on the menu for both of these teams in the next couple of minutes. Like, whoever wins the fight is pretty much going to transition that into Roche.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, of course, coming back for the Mask of Madness after the Deso. Mickey very close to completing his Maelstrom.
Yeah, to go back to Maelstrom point, because Lone Druid did go for Deso, like, he needs some kind of damage item, and even though Maelstrom is like not the greatest choice considering they do have 2 hoods, but he still needs something.
Oh, Ace. Look at the chain off. They're going to attempt to run him down the bear. Very low, easy 300 gold for Ace as he turns and cuts it down with the Chakram. They are smoked up on a couple of the Gaming Gladiators. They still look for something here. Tofu's got Fiend's Grip. Zai,
You're gonna grip him, yep.
There's the grip to start things off. Boom's ready to lay down the arena. Have they got enough damage to take him out before any ult can come off? They do. They burst the Veno. Not a chance for Zai to press any of his buttons.
Look at darachyo. He's soul farming enemy triangle. That's how confident he feels that he cannot die. This is going to give him almost full Aghanim Scepter after he finishes it. One more creep wave and that's going to be done. Number 14.
And that's the Maelstrom. That was close.
One more Quell would do the trick.
Yeah, it was delivered just in time. Okay, very close to having his pick up at the Maelstrom postponed. And again, darachyo able to plant himself down bottom, make sure that we can't do any damage to the towers here. Only just making that delivery in time. That would have really, really hurt having something else taken away from Liquid in this early game. They need everything they can get to try and hold their own in a fight against Gaming Gladiators.
Under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Going for the tier 1 tower on the mid lane. There is 4 Spirit Vessel charges, but there's also a Dispel mechanic on Timbersaw. Has a Lotus Orb. Yule Scepter, but going for the Lotus Orb next. They do still kill the tower. Bristleback will need a little bit more mana to work with, because once you get that axe, you're just using mana left and right.
Boom. I'll have his BKB done. So, all the cores getting these items that are going to really remove that potential that Liquid have to deal with these tanky heroes in these mid-game fights. And more stacks to be made here for darachyo. So after
not just full ags, he also wants the shard before the next fight.
Yeah, Celery's been on point in this game. 11 stacks. Move across the map. Top lane, Zai's been found. They'll catch him out in the trees. Arena down to make sure there's no chance of Zai sneaking away. There's Tofu. He's also back in the fountain, and he should survive here. He won't be going down to the damage of the poison.
He was thinking about buying the Fairy Fire, made the slot already with the Enchanted Mango, just preparing for the worst.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Going straight for the Moon Shard, in fact, Matsu realizing he's got to go for these bigger items. There's quite a lot of weight on in this game. It's been a tough early game for Liquid. Gaming Gladiators hitting the same sort of trajectory that they were in that game 2. Just got to be a little too much for Liquid to deal with. So you're over the mid and the 10's gone, boom. Oh, with the BKB up.
He found the angle.
See if they can do anything with it. He's still a little hesitant. I mean, they're happy just pushing Liquid back, taking the attention away from Roche.
Just using the BKB to secure the Roche. They give it to Bristleback. Has 0 mana on the hero. That's the problem.
That's a bit of a, yeah. Well, that's the side fact would be Liquid. They're going to be able to get straight over with the bid on top of Boom. Boom's getting low. Can he walk this one off? No, he can't. The side effect comes out. He'll die. They'll now turn their attention towards the Timbersaw. The root is there. They're controlling it. They'll bring him down. That's a double kill for Matsu. Now they look towards darachyo. Another root's in play. darachyo is going to lose the Aegis. Can Liquid take him out a second time? This has been a fantastic fight for Liquid. There's the fear again. Pushing the two of them back. Hillary's out of the fight. darachyo does end up killing off Mickey with the quills, but he himself will fall slowly but surely. The Spirit Vessel charge thrown out on him again. That was the fight that Liquid were looking for. They pull it off. And just a bit of a rust. I mean, you said it. darachyo was sort of standing there. But
no mana. I think that was the huge issue, because he showed his hero without mana. Maybe if he TP'd back, just waited like extra 25-30 seconds, because he didn't do almost no damage with his first Aegis usage.
Gaming Gladiators, the respawn coming in. They'll be ready to take this fight back into their hands, pick some kills up themselves. They'll grab Zai. See if they can run down Boxy. He'll try for the Shadow Realm. Holding back on the spin, looking for the angle. Boom. He'll be able to land it. So Gaming Gladiators, as they come back into the game, they'll be able to punch back against Liquid, keep their lead.
Yeah, great fight for Team Liquid. Yeah, Bristleback, like, he was slow there by the Venom ward, so he couldn't get close to the fight, and good chain frost bouncing between the heroes. Also, Lone Druid, he does serious amount of damage at that point. Like, even Mickey did quite a lot, double chains. They do have the spell mechanic that we talked about, but even still, you die. Like, having the spell mechanic against Venomancer, it's just something you need to have against Team Liquid's lineup, but they definitely needed Bristleback to use his abilities. Good fear on Bristle. They start attacking him from the front, and eventually he dies. Yep. Also, Big K standing a bit too close to Bristle. Maybe he was, trying to dodge the Quill Spray, playing a bit too greedy.
Liquid definitely showing that.
It's one of those kick W deaths that we all experience.
Gaming Gladiators are not to be held back by the fact that Liquid did get that solid fight against them. Straight back on the aggressive. Ideally, they want to take down Zai. He's the one getting the vessels off and causing the issues. Get the burst to take him out before he can TP away. 45 seconds now. There's no threat of the Veno and his Spirit Vessel. Gaming Gladiators, they could just around the mid-box seat. Tries to poke the Mars here.
Nightmare kind of saving Dark Willow there, maybe. They used everything, but Bristleback, yeah, too much clothes. Also, what's his shard called again? Hairball. Yeah.
Dire's top tower.
He's actually just going for the BKB next as well, darachyo. He doesn't want to deal with the damage that this Veno does to him, or at least just removing the vessel. At least makes a huge amount of difference in these fights for these heroes that rely on that survivability.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's a 9k lead for Gaming Gladiators. Matu still holding strong and close by with the farm that he has. What's he up to next? He has this with the full AC done.
Mickey did manage to get a decent amount of farm in the last couple of minutes, going for Scotty next, which is gonna slow them down, reduce the healing on Enchantress, Bristleback, and Timbersaw, so they will have Spirit Vessel on top of that. None of their heroes, at least early on, like don't build into Silver Edge. Someone might get it, but yeah, Shiva's Guard also probably gonna be on menu for Ember after getting that Scotty.
Smoke time for both sides. See if Boom can get the jump. Arena up in a couple of seconds. They want to try and find the back lines. They want to get on top of this Veno, get on top of Zai.
This is one of those things that can go really wrong. If you jump Veno and don't insta-kill him before he can get the ulti off, then you're like, well, we wasted everything. Then we can see how it goes.
The ult does come up in time, but Zai will die. See if they're going to be caught. For the rest of Liquid, Matu leading him with the bear. They'll get the fear up onto Celery. Trying to take out this Enchantress first. The Celery living a little longer than maybe Matu would hope. He's still trying to bring her down. Celery will be able to glimpse, get to the side. Liquid, they've lost two. And now Matu, can he deal with the rest of them? He'll turn towards darachyo, but darachyo tries to the bear. Matu goes down. Mickey really wants to kill this Bristol. Throws the Remus, is able to jump in, take him out. It's a 3 for 2 right now. And the Gladiators holding themselves on top of the fight for now. Mickey, another change comes into play, but Tofu's got the Nightmare. He'll be able to allow Celery to an ace to close the gap upon him. Nightmare taken off.
No Remnant yet.
By the Lich, is there going to be any potential for Mickey to run from this? He'll hold the back with the chains. Another sleight of fist in him with the Remnant. He's actually got the kill on Tofu. Ace now getting burst low, but the down to the impetus that Celery gets on the Karate. He's living.
There you go.
The Frost Shield's back up on him. They can't quite finish this Ember Spirit off. Another
Mickey, look at him go. The boy who lived. I can't actually... I can't believe that he actually lived there. Yeah, this Scotty makes him so tanky. He has 23 armor, and Lich is playing with him. So yeah, and also he got some procs there from the Maelstrom as well, and Scotty reducing the healing on them. Like it looks like it's gonna be a great fight for the Gaming Gladiators. I think 9 heroes died.
It looks alright at the start for them, and at this point, Gaming Gladiators, they very much felt, I think, by most of the people watching, that they had Mickey dealt with.
Yeah, Mickey is dead here, but the proc, the Remnant just came off cooldown, and yeah, having another proc and having that Fire Shield come off cooldown.
Just not having enough damage to burst through it a second time. And Mickey getting a hell of a lot out of that fight. A lot of gold, a lot of XP. Now level 20 on the Ember Spirit. Mickey now standing up there towards the top with the rest of the cores. You know, we saw him very much suffer at the beginning of this game. But with moves like that and fights like these, he's back up there. This Ember Spirit is a huge problem after Scotty's got the Crystallis. Even thinking about going for some sort of satanic build, something else to just keep him alive.
Yeah, changed his build completely. Like he was thinking about getting the Basher, he was thinking about getting the Shiva's Guard, and now he's like, well, damage. If I do the same thing that I did in the previous fight, they're gonna die even easier with this Crystallis and also level 20 talent. The extra damage from the Slight. Gaming Gladiators, they need to keep fighting.
Yeah.
Like, their lineup is gonna fall off. They do have Timbersaw, they do have Bristleback, so they need to get something done.
They're gonna get the fear off. They have the grip, but with the ultimate already off, they might struggle with the damage to take Matthew down. They're trying their best to start off when the frost shield is there, but Matthew should still forward. They're actually able to committing in with the BKB. The Bristol starting to pop up now, turns over the wall side. Byback's coming out. They're getting on the game. He's definitely the one that's got to be careful of those. He's already picked up a double. Okay, can they deal with his temper? I don't think they can. Mickey is just going on. Ooh, the stacks will kill him. It's another messy fight. It's Sania ends up taking out the darachyo out of them all at the end of it.
Everyone's dying.
Dead on Liquid.
This is a Venomancer against Bristleback. Like, eventually people will die.
Yeah.
It looked good for Mickey, but they were hitting Bristleback from behind, and he had 5 or 6 stacks of goo, hit him one more time, and just died. Roshan will respawn in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. How much damage? Let's see. 8,000 damage on the Bristleback, 5,000 damage on Venomancer, and also Mickey with the 5k.
These fights are some of the messier fights you'll see. You never quite know who's going to be living at the end of them. As it stands, it's still Gaming Gladiators holding their lead. And as you said, the importance for them that they just keep looking for these fights. And that'll definitely happen once more once darachyo's back in the game. You know, the Gaming Gladiators is just going to go running at Liquid once more.
Bristleback thinking about upgrading to Eternal Shroud. Okay. Feels like he needs a little bit of extra to stay alive in these fights. Like, the spell lifesteal still gonna get reduced, but feels maybe that's it. Maybe that's what he needs. Like, this Essence Ring also kept him alive for longer duration, especially in the previous fight. Gave him like extra 5 quill usages. They still don't know when Roshan is spawning.
All right. Liquid. I mean, very much probably feeling themselves. As long as Zai can get like the ult off and Mickey can survive, they can, you know, really give Gaming Gladiators a run for their money here.
Matu, he really loves the Silver Edge. We've seen him pick it up in the previous game, and that's what he has queued up at the moment. Like, we talked about, you know, break mechanic against both Timbersaw, Enchantress, and also Mars. It feels really good. I don't know if I mentioned Timbersaw, yeah, but the break mechanic against basically all heroes inside of Gaming Gladiators. Mars does have Satanic, so that's going to give him more survivability. Yeah. Works nicely with the God's Rebuke. Roshan respawning in 30.
I mean, yeah, Liquid's definitely going towards the fight this. Gaming Gladiators, of course, they want to look for a kill and try and get Liquid in a shape where they're not able to contest rush. They're going to try and go in on the bear. Using the grip to lock it down. Boom's going to jump over with the arena, turn towards Matumba Man. They've got the spear control. darachyo, he's in on top of Matumba Man, so Matumba Man's gone, out of the fight. Mickey jumps forward, but the Nightmare controls there from Tofu.
It's 650 damage on Bristol.
That's what Mickey can do here. He's getting incredibly slow. He can't get out with the remnant. The spear's there off to the side. Mickey still somehow alive. We'll get another slide of fist off, but the coil sprays from darachyo are too much. Another core out of the fight for Liquid. The Gaming Gladiators will be able to continue to push on with everybody alive.
He has constant 650 damage on Bristleback. It's funny, if they lock him down, if there are no remnants, also good track of when Bear is going to be able to respawn. They understand there was no Bear for 35 seconds, and they go in and they instantly lock down the Bear, as you said, with the Fiend script, because they understand where the damage is going to come from. And now inside the pit, that's going to be Aegis plus the shard. Maybe Mars decides to pick up the shard, or they give it to Timbersaw. Both are fine. Like, flamethrower is really nice, and so is double spear usage.
Gaming Gladiators very much getting things back under control after a few fights where Liquid were able to hit back maybe a bit harder than Gaming Gladiators were prepared for. Back on with a 15k lead, and the Aegis on darachyo can now start to look to push this advantage towards the tier 2s and potentially the high ground of Liquid.
Everyone on Team Liquid wanted the book. Zai buying it, Ember Spirit had one queued up, kind of snatched it from him.
Boom making a bit of a guess there for where Zai may have been hiding, but unfortunately for him, not quite getting the correct read, and Zai's already out.
Zai wants that level 18. max HP as damage. It's just so good.
That's an insane amount. What? 3.5 times 20. That's what, 70% of your max HP.
I stopped listening when you started doing math. Also, I'll just agree with that.
Yeah, of course, yeah, with the Ags, it's even more. That's Hey, I'm not doing that math, so there's a decimal point.
Yeah, it's not a round number. I'm not doing it on stream.
There we go, darachyo. He's ready to run circles around him now. With the Aegis, he has no finish. See what Liquid can do to hold back this Aegis Bristleback push.
With level 25 talent, he has even more damage. Look at it go, 800.
Building up. Onto the racks. McKay stepped up his damage output now. He has got a full Daedalus out. Good ult. Gets connection on all of them, but he does die.
Now it's time to go in, but look at Mati on the bottom lane. He's split busting.
I mean, and that will sort of work. Every sort of time, Zai just gets in, commits his life to get the ult off on all of them. It will slow down the push.
It will. It definitely will. Like, if Venomancer gets ulti on 3+ people in a team fight, it's pretty much go time. It's like, okay, there's nothing they can do about it. All we need to do is try to poke. And they do have good heroes to poke with, because they can, like, reset the fight with the Dark Willow, and also having Ember Spirit just use the slight... how close he is to his level 25? Far away. Level 23 at the moment. Full Daedalus done.
I mean, how do you push against that? You know, this sort of Venom just blinking in and pressing out on you.
They do have Glimmer Cape, Guardian Greaves on Celery. Their heroes can, like, remove things with at least the ones that they can. With, like Lotus Orbs and Yule Scepters. Bane also going for Aghanim Scepter. Halfway there, but for now, just keeping a buyback. But that's gonna take a while. No Philly Stone.
There we go, another tower.
Quickest of the maps, let's see.
Total damage before magic is at 96%. Your max HP there. And then the true value, if you do the equations, take into account the resistance, 76.8% of your max HP. So if they can hold, again, darachyo, still a minute and 20 seconds left on the Aegis. Really want to try and force out at least one set of racks here, away from Liquid. It's the range rack's gone. Good, building up. Holding Liquid back, Boom's going to jump in. He's got the connection on Zai.
He can't get it off.
Zai's gone, and he has no buyback. He's out for a full minute. So that will be enough for him for getting Gladiators to take another set of racks. Is Zai, how's he going to get? She's 270 gold short of buyback here, Zai. Got the Ratchet a bit, but of course he's got the Aegis. So he won't mind losing. It was down to sort of the last minute on anyway. Get the Chain Frost out.
BKB still available on him. Once they panic.
Yeah, they can't commit onto it. But the BKB pop, darachyo has to be left alone for now by Liquid. Gaming Gladiators might be careful themselves though. No Aegis, BKB down on the Bristol. They'll look to reset. They got the job done down bottom. They don't want to force it too hard. They know there's still very much the threat of this physical damage coming out from Nikkei and Matumba.
Yeah, and on the top lane, it's like nothing too important, but Celery was using a creep, just tank the tower, they outpushed the top wave, and dealt some decent amount of damage on tier 3. Half HP gone already.
It's got DD rune available at the bottom here. Got eyes on it as darachyo. I'll have that one ready to grab for the next effort, pushing into the base. 22k lead here in the Gladiators.
But yeah, another DD. Going for the high ground. There is BKB available in 5 seconds. Satanic as well.
Tower is under attack.
Very annoying to push into Venomancer, and Lich just casting Frost Shield on the building.
They're going to jump inside. Get off a big off, look up the forwards them side. Of course, won't die after jumping. He got the ult off. Boom commits with the BKB turn towards the 2 rounds mare. They try to keep the bear out, but the crit from Tofu comes into play. Stops the bear. there from escaping. Liquid's going to attempt to run down the Timber, so they're straight in onto Ace. They'll remove some of the debuffs here with the Yules, the Lotus, but straight back down into another route. They've taken out Ace. Darachyo, he'll attempt to run in. He's got the BKB, commits over the wall to support.
Oh my god, the damage!
He's got the close break stats, build up, Foxy's dead, but they've got the beard, they have the control on the Bristol, the bear's in on top of him, they take down Darachyo.
They need to get a Lotus Storm on him, but the only one who has it is pretty much Boom. They did manage to take him out. He's dead as well.
Change there. Mickey is able to catch him, stop the TP. There's a couple of buybacks from Liquid, but they will push back Gaming Gladiators, and now they themselves have quite a bit of a window. 2 cores down, no buybacks on either Ace or Boom.
2 buybacks used on Liquid, both Insania and Zai did buyback. Zai did over 10,000 damage on a Venomancer. He blinks in, gets the ulti off, hands off keyboard, enemies have been plagued. Guys, you do the rest, and there's the Silver Edge that we talked about. So even though they're 20k gold ahead, like Liquid can still take these fights.
That's definitely going to be a bit of a scare for Gaming Gladiators that Liquid are able to pull this off, whilst Gaming Gladiators have sort of a fair few items ahead of them. Maybe Gaming Gladiators couldn't do quite enough with the timing that their heroes sit best at. It's now Liquid up to the high ground of Gaming Gladiators. As I say, there's still time when there's no Timber, no Mars for the defense. So it'll easily be one set of racks, and also with the spin goes off, it takes them
30 seconds.
Yeah, they know they're not going back. And Darachyo, of course, he doesn't want to spend the buyback himself. 20 seconds he doesn't want to spend. So Liquid, their back to protection kicks in. It doesn't matter. Matthew Spare does enough damage. A second melee rack's taken. And now the game sits at a point where Liquid, they've done more damage to Gaming Gladiators base than they've received themselves.
Oh, that's pretty big, and damage from the Venomancer. Over 300,000 damage or whatever that meter is showing. He buys back immediately, and like they understand. It feels like Gaming Gladiators are on the same page. If Feno uses ulti, we need to try to kill someone during the BKB timings, and then we need to go back.
Solid hold from Liquid, and that Veno pick proving to be exactly what they needed.
He also found the timeless relic, so extra 15% spell damage and the debuff duration, plus Kaya amplifying the damage from his ulti. This is wild. These numbers are actually wild.
Dangerous position here. Maybe with both teams fighting around the Roshan. Oh, they're going to break it. Darachyo's in trouble. And he's just straight up dead. Ooh, BKB's on the time. Maybe he's not. And then she's able to say that they are. Booms in with the counter punch. Jumps over. Straight away on top of a Timberman. They keep Darachyo alive. No, Darachyo has to buy back. He has to buy back. The grip control there for Toby. Locks down Mickey. Mickey gets another slide at Mist. With the lifesteal, he's surviving a little bit. Gets the flames out. Another slide at Mist. The heal. Here, Mickey's still alive. Can he get off another? He pushed to the side. He cannot press it once more. As the spear will catch him. Liquid that lost 4. Zara going in. TP out, but Celery will take him down.
Roshan check if it's gonna spawn. Darachyo had to use buyback. He was thinking about, whether I could go in or out of the fight, and one extra slide. Like those slides, once you hit level 25 with Ember, if you have Daedalus, those hurt. And the Satanic actually keeping him alive there. 2 buybacks only, I'd say, on Gaming Gladiators for a full team wipe, and now they can run down the mid. This is third Roche. Harpy Scout inside the Roche pit, scouting things out. They need to fix the lanes.
That's the first buyback, Matsu. Feels that he's going to have to spend it anyway, so he'll get it out the way as soon as he can. Buyback to follow up from Mickey. Probably won't want to try and do something too crazy around this mid-rank, so they may just have to let these ones go. No surprise there. Highest amount of hero damage at 39 minutes, Zai. This game.
Well, no surprise. Like Aghanim Scepter and the items that he found just makes that happen.
And especially considering just how high the max HP is off these cores right now. Gaming Gladiators, they're going for the third and final set of racks.
Mega Creeps.
Roshan respawns in 15 seconds. There's also regeneration rune if anyone needs that. Just to replenish the mana. Cabal 4-man scouting things out inside the pit, drinking from his chalice. This is big. There's still like 15 seconds. Liquid, they want to smoke. They want to smoke immediately when Zai, maybe they even want to smoke before he comes here, because this is very important. Bristleback, he's going to be the one picking up the Aegis, because he bought back in the previous fight. There's also a refresher. Yeah, you got to give that to Mars, because Mars this game, he didn't buy it, so having 2 BKB charges and also like 2 Satanics, 2 Arenas, level 25, he went for God Rebuke crit. I wouldn't mind seeing him picking the other talent as well, especially in this game. The Arena of Blood grants you almost 2 HP regen per second, because they're playing against the Venomancer, and now having 2 Arenas. Still, like, the damage output is insane, especially with God's Rebuke. And once again, 69% win rate with the... I think we have some fake numbers. I think someone is trolling us. Every single time we cast a game, checking the win rate of level 25 talent, it's only 69.
Can Liquid hold against the Megas? Can they hold against this? Gaming Gladiators, they're smoked up. How's the buybacks looking? Only buyback available on the Willow. Everybody else on the Liquid, they'll have one chance to try and hold and defend their Ancient. Gaming Gladiators very much just trying to be as aware as possibly as they can of just not getting caught out by some sort of 4-man, 5-man ult from Zai. That will definitely put...
Look at the positioning from Zai.
What's going to get in? Guessing with the jump of the back, let's go at least 3 of them there. Zai caught full damage, now to jump in. Darachyo's been caught by the fear in the break. There's going to be Darachyo going down once. The edge is gone. The buyback coming in from Boxty. Arena down from Boomie, trying to move over the walls. Massive man, they're focusing on low droid. Is there going to be any way of saving Matthew? There's not. He's down for 2 minutes. Again, Rena's in over the walls. They buys back straight away. Another fear sent out from Boxty, pushing back the 2 of them. Boom turns to the Satanic. Big God's Rebuke it, gets him almost up to full HP. It's just McCann and Savior left alive. It's Savior getting overwhelmed. That's game. Okay, the last one left. He gets caught by the back. GG is called. It's Gaming Gladiators. With this game 3 victory, the series is there. Liquid, they put in an excellent effort to try and hold